Jimbo Fisher here after the worst loss in Texas A&M history, and I'm the highest paid coach in the history of Texas A&M. I just want to sit here and drop off that game plan. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Hey, Jimbo, what happened with that run defense? Just didn't get the game plan down. You know, we didn't execute too well. Dropped another turd down there. Didn't execute well. It's not like the players are trying to do that on purpose. Wink, wink, rocks eyebrow. Yeah, Jimbo, I would hope it didn't. You weren't doing it on purpose. It'd be like you were betting on the game. Huh, Jimbo? This is where your playbook, your game plan, your preparation, and your coaching belongs. Right in the dropping another one down into the shithouse. College football news coming at you. Again, hit that like, subscribe, and share for all the latest breaking highlights and in-game analysis and post-game reactions as we called for the Scott Frost and gave you that exclusively here first. This is another guy on the hot seat, and that's going to be Jimbo Fisher down there at Texas A&M. And if his season unravels on him, College Football News is putting Jimbo Fisher on alert after an embarrassing loss and one of the worst losses in college football history. You too may be on the hot seat after the season if you don't turn it around. And let's take a look and see how the App State fans partied deep into the night after the historic win and possibly the biggest win in program history to that Michigan win when they went into Ann Arbor about 10 to 12 years ago in 2007. Let's take a listen at what this Fleeceheister and Shyster has to say, Jimbo Fisher, after that embarrassing, pathetic, and unprofessional performance against App State down at the home of the 12th man.
Whenever you're ready.
First of all, congratulations to App State. They came in here. We knew they were a good football team. They played like it. They played like an experienced group of guys. Did a really nice job in the game and did the things they had to do to be successful. We did not execute and play at the level we needed to, and that's my fault. That's it.
Being your fault is an understatement, Jimbo Fisher, and all these Texas A&M fans should be up in arms and should be calling for this man's job. He's had 5 years, and this is getting worse, not better. It's unacceptable.
Players, there was nobody tried to make a mistake today. Nobody was trying to do it on purpose.
Well, Jimbo, I would sure hope your players weren't trying to do it on purpose. It would almost be like you were betting against yourself in the game and somebody took App State to win the game outright to get loaded as part of that NIL deal. Maybe, Jimbo, are you sure they weren't trying to do it on purpose? This is all this man has after another pathetic performance, one of the biggest upsets and the biggest upset in Texas A&M history. And we're going to go over some of the stats that happened and look at the highlights. And it's embarrassing when you really dig down deep into what took place down there.
And that's what we have to do as a staff and all the things we have to do, evaluate what we're doing and make sure we're doing it. We had chances to make plays all day on both sides of the ball. Offensively, unacceptable.
Thanks, Jimbo, for that. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. You can see early on all day, it was very easy for the App State quarterback to make easy plays, smart plays, good coaching, good play calls to keep the chains moving. But then we got to Then you can see number 13 makes a bad play, the quarterback, Texas A&M, that we're going to have to talk about here in a second briefly. But you can see the App State defense comes up with a big turnover, and they immediately turn it in with a little jet sweep and a little RPO handoff right up the middle for an easy touchdown to take a 7-0 lead. But next, we need to talk about Haynes King, a sophomore out of Longview, Texas. He, to me, is not a very good quarterback, and this is all Jimbo Fisher has in his fifth year at quarterback. Look at his numbers, 13 of 20, 65% completions, 97 yards, and 2 sacks. That's what this supposed athletic, mobile quarterback with a cannon get you. This is unacceptable, and this man has an uncanny ability to not understand the time, distance, and down, the situation on the football field, and the awareness of what's going on around him, and he needs to be benched. And Jimbo Fisher, and as we continue with the highlights, you can see App State did what they want, controlled the clock, held the ball for slightly over 40 minutes. Yup, you heard that correctly. Slightly over 40 minutes they held the ball against Texas A&M at home. And you can see with the 7-0 lead early, the mistakes piled up. But this was one play that Texas A&M did on the little RPO handoff where they should be able to muscle it up the middle and bully around App State. But this was more what was going on all day. Good play calling by App State's coach and good execution by the quarterback. Gets it in for an easy touchdown for a 14-0 lead. But then Texas A&M on the ensuing kickoff takes it down the right side of the field, makes a great miss, makes a man miss there, and with his pure speed and athleticism takes it back to the house. 95 yards, and they should have been able to take control of the game, but because they have Jimbo Fisher, a clown, an ass clown, a shyster, and a fleecer, App State's able to grind that clock out, not give them the ball back, and kick a game-winning field goal with 8 minutes to go. And yes, with 8 minutes to go, I say game-winning field goal because Jimbo Fisher's offense was putrid, pathetic, mistakes filled, multiple fumbles and turnovers, and they couldn't muster up anything down the stretch, and they go down in an embarrassment. And College Football News is putting Jimbo Fisher on fire alert as the next major shoe to drop and the next major coach if he doesn't turn it around to get canned at the end of the season. Like, subscribe, and share.